Knock at the Cabin is an apocalyptic psychological horror film written and directed by M. Night Shyamalan, who also wrote the screenplay for this film. It is based on the 2018 novel The Cabin at the End of the World. I didn't even know about this. Everything's based on something. It's either a comic book, a manga, or a novel when it comes to these films. When it comes to these movies. But anyway, this movie stars Dave Bautista, Jonathan Groff, and that's all I know. Like that's all of the name. Well, that's all of the names that I recognized going into this film. But yeah, in this film, a family of three, this little girl, this little daughter, and her two dads are vacationing at a remote cabin, but they are suddenly held hostage by four strangers. One of them is Dave Bautista, who demand they sacrifice one of their own to avert the apocalypse. Now, this movie, like I said, is at the beginning, the opening of this video. M. Night Shyamalan is a man that I really do admire and appreciate. He's made some really good movies. He made some pretty okay, mediocre, solid movies, but he's also made some pretty awful, terrible movies, and we all know, and I'm pretty sure we can all, take examples of each one of them. But anyway, he is best known for making original films with contemporary supernatural plots and twist endings. There are so many supernatural plots and twist endings to his films. And going into this film, from what I know of M. Night Shyamalan and what I've seen from his movies, I was going into this movie cautious because, this is M. Night Shyamalan. It could go good. It can go okay. It can also go absolutely garbage trash. And I gotta say, this is a pretty solid movie. Good job, M. Night Shyamalan, for making a pretty good movie. Now, it's not one of my favorite M. Night Shyamalan movies. I feel like movies like Unbreakable are one of... Unbreakable, Unbreakable is my favorite M. Night Shyamalan movie. But I still... I'm gonna get a lot of hate for this. But I haven't seen The Sixth Sense. I haven't seen The Sixth Sense. I haven't seen Signs, The Village. I know, a lot of you are gonna hate me for that. Maybe in the future, if I have the time, I'll sit down and watch those films. So I just got so much shit for that. But anyway, so yeah, and this movie is pretty good. It's not my favorite M. Night Shyamalan film. It's not even one of my favorites. But it's just, arguing, it's just these two dads. You've seen the trailers. These two dads are held hostage, and they have to make a choice. They have to make a sacrifice. And if they don't, then something apocalyptic, end of the world devastation is going to happen, and it's kind of like a cause and effect. I feel like there's a theme in this movie about cause and effect. But anyway, that is pretty much it for the film. My biggest issue would be the screenplay. This movie is not even 2 hours long. It's 1 hour 40-ish minutes long, and it's just these characters arguing back and forth. What's right? What should we? What's the right choice? What's the wrong choice? Should we do this? Should we be making these choices? And that's what I found very interesting. What I don't like about this movie is the arguing. Is the actual argument and between these characters going back and forth, and also the film also flashbacks to the two fathers, how they met. I only saw this movie once last night, and that's pretty much it. I might have to, maybe, I might say some things, I might forget some things, but some things might get flown over my head that I won't remember. But, those flashbacks are pretty much, taking place in the past, and they're really about how these two fathers met, how they adopted the little girl, how they drove to the cabin, all leading up to the present day and where they are, which I find very interesting. But there really is nothing more to the flashbacks except that. It really didn't. The flashbacks really didn't build anything. I found that along with the screenplay to be very frustrating, as it took itself too seriously at sometimes. But other than that, this is a pretty solid movie. Like I said, I wasn't bored out of my mind. I mean, can I be honest with you? Really, I was almost bored. I was almost bored with this film. But not like too much. Like I was past, I wanted to go to sleep or something. But anyway, that's pretty much it. Knock at the Cabin. This is a pretty solid movie. If you got nothing, no plans over this weekend, definitely go out into theaters and check this movie out. I'm sure you'll like it if you are a fan of M. Night Shyamalan, or if you're a person who likes psychological horror films. But yeah, definitely check this movie out. Not the best. It's just pretty average, solid movie. Not bad. It's Knock at the Cabin. It's not bad. Pretty solid. Good movie. Pretty solid, good, okay movie. But anyway, enough about that. If you have seen Knock at the Cabin, let me know what you thought about it in the comment section below. Thank you so much for taking your time to listening to my review. I really do appreciate it. It makes me think that, you guys really like to hear my opinions and all my thoughts. And I really do appreciate that. I love you guys. And, please like, comment, subscribe, do all that great stuff. And I will see all of you lovely people really soon.